All right, and we're back for the second episode of the Ramblin Rebels podcast. We're here today with Elijah Davis, also known as Bill. How you doing today?
I'm doing pretty good today. How you guys doing today?
We're doing great. Glad to have you on the show today. So tell us a little bit about what you've been doing with football. Like, things are getting a lot better this year, it seems. Like, you're getting really far, and then you're being recognized by, like, Player of the Week and stuff like that. So how does it feel to be put on the spot like that?
I really don't try to worry about it too much. As long as the team gets a dub, that's really all I'm worried about. In any way, I'm just trying to help the team. But I credit all my success to my offensive linemen and my receivers for blocking, because without those guys, I can't go anywhere. And it's good to have Player of the Week and stuff like that, but I can't be recognized or have all the rushing yards and different things like that without my team. So.
Right. Yeah, and the team is really what makes it so much better too. So, like, that bond that you have with your fellow teammates, as well as the things that you guys may go through together. So what were some of the, like, funniest moments during practices, or, like, your favorite moments during summer or, like, after school practices that you remember?
I would definitely have to say when we were running 110s during the summer, like, we started off at 12 and then we would gradually just go week by week. And by the end of it, no, a lot. We did not start at 12. We started at what, 4? 8? Started at 8, and then we gradually worked our way up to 16 by the end of summer, and we all had to make it back in specific time, like in a set amount of time, and everybody was just pushing each other to be good and great. And so, like, every time in the game, we just think about those times, like, man, we did 110s. We went through all the hard stuff in the summer, so game time is easy. We're just ready to rock.
Yeah, that's awesome. That's great to hear. Noah, you got some questions about
Bill, why did you commit to ULL? What made you think that was a school for you?
I committed to UL because it felt like a second home. All the coaches there, they treated me very nice. They didn't offer me just because I was a 3-star and things like that. They really looked at my game tape. They were my first real offer and things like that. And just from day one, they always told me, we want you here. We like your tape. Like, we think you can help us. We think that you can help us win. And, like, they just show me, like, the great list of running backs. And it's funny because they have guys like Elijah Mitchell, Elijah McGuire, and my name is Elijah. So they're like, carry on the Elijah tradition. So they have big things in place for me and stuff.
Gotcha. But out of all the schools, why UL besides, like, how they treat you in the Elijah tradition?
I think. It's because Coach Mike Dez, like, he texts my phone like more than any head coach, and it feels great to be wanted by the head coach and your position coach. That's the two biggest things that you would want out of being recruited, the head coach and your positions coach. Because one, head coach makes all the decisions, and your position coach, position coach gotta like you. So it's very good to have a balance of both.
How do you feel about the game coming up this Friday against Newman and Arch Manning, be the #1 player in the nation in the class of 2023?
I think that it's really gonna be a test to see, how good we are and things like that. He's a very good quarterback, but I think our defense will be able to slow him down with K.U. Middleton and Caleb Brumfield and Amari Alexander and Montrell Henry on the line. I just think that with those guys and everybody just flying onto the ball, I think we can slow down Arch a little bit. He's still gonna be doing Arch things, making good throws, but I see us coming out on top as long as we take care of everything we're supposed to be doing.
Right. I feel like that's gonna be a really good game to be there and watch. So. Everybody listening in should probably, make reservations, get some tickets, go to the game, because that's going to be really entertaining to watch from what I can tell. We're doing really good this year. The last game we had, how do you feel about that last game?
Last game, it was not really a test, but we really was just excited to get back out there and play those guys again, because last year we lost them in overtime, and so everybody just had it on their mind, like, we aren't losing, and right. We started off a little slow, then we picked it up, and then it's just like after that we were just like, we got this. So we just didn't want to lose from last year. Like I said, we lost in overtime, and we just had that bitter sour feeling in our mouth because we knew that team wasn't better than us, and we sure proved it last Friday.
Right. And I feel like that the 7 touchdowns, man, that's pretty crazy on your record. I mean,
304 yards. That's a lot of yards, and that's on the ground, right?
Yeah, that was on the ground. I had that, and I had about 50 in the passing game. But it was all good. I was just glad that we won at the end of the day. That's all I was really worried about. Yeah. I wasn't really worried about how many rushing yards I had, how many touchdowns. I was just trying to win the game. That was the biggest goal.
Yeah, it's with your team. It's like the the connection with your team, and then being able to say you won as a team with the rest of your O-line and defensive line and everything like that. So how do you feel about the upcoming games past the next one? Like, do you see any major challenges or, like, ones that you think are going to breeze by or stuff like that?
I had to say St. Martin's because they do have a really good running back over there in Harlem Berry. I don't really know much about Central Catholic. I'm not really too worried about Country Day. They're a well-coached team. I'm not really too worried about them like that. I have to say our biggest test is going to be Newman. Not saying anybody else is not going to give us a challenge, but just based off of what I know, that's really the only team, them, and I had to say St. Martin's.
Nice, good. So we got a pretty good scope of who we're going against with some people that we're not too sure about.
Mm-hmm.
So past all of the sports and the football, let's get down to, like, your personal opinion on things.
Mm-hmm.
So what is, like, some things that you like to do outside of football and outside of doing schoolwork and stuff like that?
I like to play video games. I'm a very big video game head. I like to go out to eat with my friends and things like that. I love to eat. Like, everybody knows that about me. I love food.
What's your favorite restaurant?
I don't really have a favorite restaurant.
No favorites?
I don't have a favorite. Like, I just like everything. If I had to say my favorite, I have to say Niao's out of New Orleans. They're a really good spot to go to. But I've been to so many places out here. It's just crazy. I don't really have a favorite. Nobody's really asked me that. It's really everything, really.
Everything's just great.
Everything's good.
Any type of food that's specifically your favorite?
Like, I had to say like fried food, like fried fish, like gumbo, like red beans. Like, I don't really. It's really hard because it's just like living out here. There's so many good things to eat and stuff like that.
So you're not planning on moving out of state. You're staying in state.
I can't really say that right now. You know, whatever God has in plan for me, that's what's just gonna happen.
Right. So the food here is a very big thing for you. Like, that's a lot of what you like to do. Like, you like to go out and experience new, like, restaurants and stuff like that?
Yes, that's exactly what I like to do. That, play video games, and, you know, go outside and play, you know, sports with my friends, basketball, football, whatever.
Awesome. Is that another reason why you wanted to go to UL? Because of the restaurants out there?
They have some pretty good spots out there. I have not been to, like, all the food spots out there, but I went to K. I think it's called K&K or something like that. Really good little spot and things like that. But they really do have good food out there. The Cajuns, they get sponsored every time they eat, like, breakfast, they cook it, but, like, lunch and, like, dinner and stuff, they get sponsored from, like, Zia's to little different spots out there, like Cajun Grill and things like that out there.
Speaking of sponsorships, have you ever had a sponsorship, like an NIL deal yet?
No, I have not, but I know it will definitely be coming here in the future.
I would not be surprised to see you get sponsored.
Yeah.
But so, like, do you have, since you're such a, like, notorious, like, I'd say running back for the school, like, you're doing really crazy things this year. So is there anything that you do, like, specifically? Like, do you go in your free time and, like, go to the gym and work out? Do you have a specific, like, dietary?
I work out from time to time. You know, I'm not a big working out guy, but, like, I go to, like, feet working guys, people that work on my feet, make my hips way looser and things like that. During the season, I try to stay away from fried foods and, like, you know, heavy sugar and things like that, like, when the season starts. But, like, you know, in off-season, I kind of do me. But I'll say I work out pretty good. I think I have a really good balance. Like, you know, if I eat heavy, then I'll make sure I go run it off or whatever. Or, like, during the season, I make sure I try to eat early or whatever, so I'm not, like, feeling bloated over when I'm at school or heading into practice and things like that. So I had to say I have a really good balance between both.
So before football games, like, say we have a home game or something like that, do you tend to, like, eat or, like, get some food before the game? And if so, what's your favorite to, like, go pre-game meal?
I've actually never went out. They've always had pre-game meal for us. But if I had to say, my favorite pre-game meal would have to be when we had hamburger steaks and mashed potatoes, and one of my offensive linemen, Brennan Mouse, his mom made some brownies that were just, like, good, and everybody, like, smashed them. So I would have to say that's probably my favorite pregame meal.
Yeah, that sounds awesome. So back to what you said about the video games. What's some of your top 5 video games of all time?
Definitely Madden. That's all I play.
Madden.
I love 2K. I play GTA. I was once a really big Fortnite head. I still play from time to time, but not anymore. And if I had to say one more, I have to say it's gonna come as a shocker. It's probably between two. I used to play wrestling, WWE, And then I also kind of enjoy Rocket League for a little bit.
Right. So you play games that are very social and like
Mhm.
you can play with your friends.
Right, yeah.
Yeah, that's always very nice to have like games with your friends in common. So like if y'all are off of football one day, y'all could play some games, bond in other ways.
Right.
So today's lunch, onto that topic, is pastelaya. On a scale of 1 to 10, what would you say our pastelaya is?
Man, I had to say 10 out of 10, man. Like,
10 out of
it's real
10?
good.
Pastelaya is very good.
They add the right amount of meat in there. You know what I'm saying? So it's just really good. I know I sound like a food head right now, but I told you I love food. So
Yep.
yeah, it's really good. I think that's probably one of our better things here. I mean, everything here that they make is pretty good, but I have to say pastelaya. Between the pastelaya and the either tacos or like the chili mac or something, it's up there. And yeah.
The chili mac has been getting a lot of flack from some students saying that it's not the same as it used to be and stuff like that. What is your opinion on that? Do you think the chili mac's the same, or
I ain't gonna lie, it kind of fell off a little bit, but
just a little bit?
yeah, it fell off a little bit. I think where they mess up is the sauce to noodle ratio is not it, and like the noodles taste kind of like, I don't know, it tastes like they have water in them, but like it's still good, but it's just like, I don't know, it's just like the sauce to noodle ratio gotta be better. Like they could add like a little bit more sauce, it wouldn't be as bad. Like, cause it's like after you like stir it around like once and you take like a couple bites, I feel like you just eat noodles, and it's like, yeah, it just don't taste right. It don't taste the same.
So, for after college, do you think that if you were offered a position for a professional league, like in an NFL team, what would be your preferred team that you would be offered by? Like, what's your favorite professional league team?
My favorite NFL team would have to be the 49ers. I've grown up a 49ers fan. I've never liked the Saints. Never. I would say that on here. I've never liked the Saints. I've always been a 49ers fan just from when we had Colin Kaepernick, Frank Gore, those 49ers legends, Vernon Davis, Patrick Willis, Navarro Bowman, those guys, like they really made me a fan of the game. And like, now, we see Trey Lance, Jimmy Garoppolo, Elijah Mitchell, who, played for UL, is on the 49ers now, George Kittle, and, different guys like that.
Mm-hmm. Right. So you feel like that's kind of like your calling, like.
Yes, and then really, I like their old line's really good. Then they also have Trent Williams. He's a really good offensive lineman, and then I think he's like a 99 overall in Madden. And so, just seeing how Kyle Shanahan, does it with, the running game and, O-lines out there blocking kind of gives me a sense of, kind of how Riverside is. So that's what I like.
What's your ideal schedule for, school days? So, whenever you get home, do you focus on, doing extracurriculars and then you go home, do homework, stuff like that? Or is it, go home, after extracurriculars, take a nap, and then keep doing stuff? Or what does that look like for you?
At the practice, they got a volleyball game, I usually go, or some type of sporting thing here. I always make sure I support any Riverside event here. That's the sport and things like that. Cause they always come to the football games like that and showing us support and love and things like that. But if it's not that, I usually go home. Sometimes I might play my game for a little bit, maybe an hour and a half at the most, and then, start doing my schoolwork and things like that. And I make sure I, stretch a little bit, too. Gotta make sure I'm real loose. If we're talking, in season, this is what it is.
Yeah.
Go home, like I said, play the video game, stretch, and then I start doing my homework and things like that. And then by the time I look, it's about 10:30. I'm like, oh, time to go to sleep, man. I'm out.
Yep. So I'm assuming your go-to team in Madden would be the 49ers.
It's actually funny. It's not.
Oh.
Nah, my go-to team this year in Madden, last year's Madden, it was the Green Bay Packers because I'm a big Aaron Rodgers fan. It's weird because they are kind of our rival. They're in our same division. My go-to Madden team now, I would have to say, is probably, it probably is the 49ers now. But if I had to say another team, backup team, it had to be the Bengals or somebody.
That's really unexpected, honestly. So how do you feel about the other football teams that you would be considered for? If you were for say taken for the Bengals or for the Green Bay Packers, if they were to offer you a spot.
I wouldn't turn down any NFL team, even if the Saints drafted me, and I don't even really care for the Saints like that. But if I got there, I would be repping black and gold, like
Right.
you know what I'm saying, like I've been a fan of him.
Professional.
It's just like to even get to the NFL is just a really big accomplishment. Like not too many guys even make it.
Mhm.
Like you see in preseason guys going hard, like trying to earn a spot on the team. So to say you even in the position of being in the NFL or being on a roster spot is just a lot because there's so many guys that don't make it.
Right.
As you know, they got Canadian Football League and things like that, arcade football for guys that that can't make it to the NFL, and that's their dream.
Right. So, is there anyone from like another school locally that you're like really excited to go against? Because you two might be like kind of on the same page, and then you're waiting to see what it would be like to go against them in a game. Like, what game are you looking forward to most this year?
It's actually the Newman game.
Newman game.
Me and Arch are really good friends. He's a really good guy. And I'm really just ready to go against him because last time we played him was my sophomore year. We're supposed to play him my junior year, but as you know, Hurricane Ida had messed it up for us. We had missed our first 2 games, and they were our second game, like how it is again this year, our second game. So, it's just really grateful to be able to play those guys, go against Arch because it's not every day you're able to play against maybe soon to be NFL quarterback,
Right.
Just because of his uncles and stuff like that. So,
Yeah. Any more questions, Noah? All right. Well, Bill, that's going to be the end of our podcast for today. Thank you so much for coming on. Is there anything else you'd like to say before we sign it off?
If anybody's listening to this from Riverside, make sure I come out to the Newman game. That would be very appreciated. This is going to be a wild game, and hopefully we come out with a W.
All right. Thank you so much, Bill. We'll see you guys next time on the podcast. Thank you so much for listening, and have a great day.